Hey everyone, how's it going? I'm Seth.
And this is Eric.
And welcome to 3Play, where we review video games, movies, and anime. Today's review is going to be about Deus Ex: Human Revolution.
A little piece of advice. When attempting to extort money from someone, don't give them what they want before trying to rip them off.
What? What? You mean you aren't going to pay? But I risked everything to get you that file.
The story in Deus Ex revolves around Adam Jensen, a ex-cop who now works at Seraph Industries with what I believe is his girlfriend, Megan Reed. And he's like the bodyguard of the place, and he keeps it safe and protects it from hackers and whatnot. And one day they're attacked by these unknown people who come in and pretty much kill all the scientists and hurt Adam really badly, leaving him on the edge of death. And it's actually very surprising that he survives. And he's given augmentations to survive, which are very hated. And Seraph Industries is an augmentation company, and he has no choice but to get them. He doesn't even decide or anything. They're just given to him automatically while he's unconscious, and that ends up actually saving his life. So he wakes up, and 6 months later, I believe it is, he's back and ready to go, and people see him differently because augmentations are kind of like a sign of evil in that world, depending on who you are. Some people like them, some people don't. Some people believe you shouldn't be changing the world with such things like that. Some people believe you just leave it alone. Others think that it's evolution and that's just how it has to be. So it's definitely a different world, and he's just out to look for who attacked them and killed her and why.
You're back. You bring your Lee gang past this time?
Damn it. Must have left it at my desk. Be back in a bit.
The gameplay in Deus Ex is a little difficult to get used to at first because controls are totally different than most first-person shooter games. In most other first-person shooters, the controls are kind of easy to get used to because there's a basic layout of what the buttons do, but Deus Ex is a little different. It's kind of weird.
You get used to it. I mean, by the end of the game I was still messing up with the controls a little bit, but I definitely got used to it by the end of the game. But I mean, you'll make mistakes every now and then. They're definitely a little weird.
Some of the buttons remind me of Borderlands, where some of them you tap a button and it does one thing, and you hold down the button and it does something different. Like searching bodies and picking up bodies. You have to tap the X button to search a body, and you have to hold it down to pick up the body.
In Deus Ex, you can level yourself up in a way. You get experience, and you get points every time you level up, and you can put those points, they're called praxis points, into your character, and you can upgrade various different things about you, like your strength or your speed, how long you can sprint, how high you can jump, seeing through walls. There's all kinds of different augmentations in this game, and it's really cool to mold your character into what you want to be. If you're stealthy or a running gunner or whatever you want to do, there's all kinds of different augmentations to level up. And I mean, I don't even think I leveled up half of the stuff by the end of the game. Maybe it was a little bit more than half, but then I didn't get to do everything in the game. So regardless of that though, there's definitely a whole lot to level up, and it's fun to definitely see what type of person you are, and you can definitely shape a very unique character depending on your play style, because every mission can be taken down differently, and you can pretty much play the game however you want.
One of my favorite things to do in video games is just mess around, and Deus Ex is awesome for messing around. You can pretty much beat up anyone in the game. You can lift up things like chairs and refrigerators and throw them at people, and you can drag bodies around and throw them through the air and all kinds of awesome things.
I mean, you can literally like finish a side quest or finish a quest with somebody, and then the moment you don't need to talk to them anymore, just pick up a refrigerator and throw it at them and they die. Or just like press the B button and just punch them in the face and knock them out, or do whatever you want with them and just drag their body around and throw it at people and throw bodies at people and kill other people with other people. It's pretty ridiculous. Deus Ex is very free in that sense. You can even collect bodies and store them in vents. Maybe kill the entire police station and put them inside of one vent. That's what I did. Just so you're warned though, there are boss battles in this game, and they're very different than normal fights. I just thought I'd mention them because they particularly annoyed me, so I figured I made a note to make sure that I mentioned these. Especially the first boss battle, that's the one that I had the most trouble with because I wasn't really too strong at that point, which you probably won't be anyways. It's just ridiculous, and they don't really get hurt very much, and you have to find ways to kill them, and you literally die in like 2 or 3 shots in this game. It's kind of silly. You're like I don't even know how to explain how weak you are in this game, but you die super fast. And the boss is just ridiculous. You can't use the B button knockout move on him. If you get close to him, he automatically kills you. It's just like ridiculous. I mean, it's not an automatic kill, but it's like 80% of your life or something. So I just thought I'd mention the boss battles are really tough and very frustrating and super annoying, and they shouldn't have even been in the game. I thought they were just out of control. But there are a few boss battles, and it's worth playing the game regardless, but the boss battles suck.
The graphics in Deus Ex are pretty good looking where it counts. Like all the main characters, the basic way that the city looks, everything looks great, but when it comes to the characters that don't really matter, they tend to repeat themselves a lot. Everyone's faces are ugly and lots of people look the same.
It is cool though the way they at least did it in Deus Ex, where almost everyone has something different to say to you. So while people may not look that great at all, and they have weird robotic motions, it's a very live world and you can feel that.
The way Jensen looks is very detailed, like even down to his sunglasses are all nice and shiny. And he has his fancy spiky hair and his robotic arms, and he just looks very detailed.
Not everything is super futuristic yet, so while there are some advances in technology, it's still kind of set in the human world. So you still have the hobos that are just sitting there looking all hobo-ish, and their character models look really bad.
Yeah, they do.
But they're not really meant to look futuristic. Like, not everything is futuristic in Deus Ex. That's one of the cool things about it. They really made a good looking city. Like, it's a very believable city for like 13 years from now. It's not super futuristic, and it's not really totally unbelievable. It's still kind of actually set in our world, really.
I think the music in Deus Ex is a nice addition to the game. It's not very strong and in your face like some music might be. It's nice and ambient and in the background, unless it needs to be, like the club scene where there's lots of loud techno industrial music. But for the most part, it's a lot of ambient, soft background soundtrack kind of music.
Yeah, it has that epic feeling to it that kind of sends a chill down your spine when you hear it. It sounds really good. I really like the music in this game. It was great.
The music in this game was actually so good that if you bought the special edition of it, they gave you the soundtrack to go with it, which is always a plus.
Campbell to the basement morgue. Emmy Campbell to the morgue.
All in all, though, I would have to say Deus Ex is definitely a buy. It's an extremely fun game. It's fun to just mess around and kill people and just screw around with their dead bodies and just pick things up and throw it at people. The story is good. The graphics are serviceable. The gameplay is excellent. It's just, you can play it however you want. There's a lot of side quests. I'd say it's probably a good 25 to 45 hours depending on your play style. There's a lot to do in this game. There's, I don't know, it's, go out and buy this game now. It is an excellent game. Don't even hesitate. Don't even worry about it. Buy it now.
I thought Deus Ex was awesome. It's lots of fun, plus it's just a great game. I'm not hardcore into first-person shooters, but I love this game. It's really fun to play, and you can just mess around all you want, anytime you want. It's almost like a first-person shooter version of Grand Theft Auto, only futuristic, and you play as a character who's very similar to Batman.
Let me guess. You're gonna tell me where to get one.
So overall, though, go out and buy this game, guys. Definitely. I highly recommend this. Thank you for listening, and we'll be back next week.
Be sure to check out our other reviews.
Stay tuned after the logo for a hint of what's coming next week. We'll see you guys then. Bye.